One of the things we have the capabilities of doing is scuba diving to find victims. Jeremy, thanks for interviewing with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So this is Jeremy Elkins, Washington Township Fire Department. And Jeremy, you are a rescue diver with the fire department, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what does that mean?
That means I am certified to do any kind of diving and rescue diving. So if there's a call of rescue that is someone in a pond that needs to be rescued, we deploy our dive team and we can go and dive and find them.
Very good. And is this your standard honeymoon recreational diving, or is there a lot more into it?
Absolutely not. So if it was an enjoyable thing, that would be awesome. But it's not the Caribbeans where you can see everything 80 foot down. We can't see anything in front of us. We're completely blacked out. We're in mud. We're actually using our feel and just kind of senses around us, the people that were helping us dive. So we are just completely nowhere near the honeymoon.
And what is it that we actually do? So we go out and we find the divers. We're feeling around. Do you know where they are?
So we actually try to get an idea of where the person is before. So we'll try to gather that information and get as close to the area as we can. And then what we do is we concentrate on that area and then we work our way out, hoping that we can find it in that first concentrated area.
And tell everybody, how long does a person have that you're actually in rescue mode compared to recovery?
So it depends on how cold the water is or anything, but roughly anything after an hour we consider we go to an actual recovery versus rescue.
Very good. And you just do this in warm weather, or do you do this year round?
Unfortunately, we do this year round. So whenever it's -10 or if it's 80 degrees out, we're still diving.
Very good. And what do you have to have? What do all the divers have as far as certifications or training or anything like that?
So we have our open water, we have our open water advanced, we have public safety, and some of us have a rescue diver training that all go in there. And then this is what helps us keep our skills up.
Very good. And what are you wearing right now? What is this whole thing? You obviously got the SCB or the scuba tank and everything else on. What other gear do you have?
Yeah, so I have underneath this, I have a dry suit here. Underneath this, I have thermals, which is basically your insulation underneath to keep you warm whenever you're in cold water. We have our thermals, we have our dry suit. This is the actual dry suit. Comes with gloves, boots, and everything else. We have our scuba tanks, which is a lot heavier than our SCBA for a fire. And we also have our fins that we use underneath the water too.
And does this equipment protect you from all the contaminants that are in the water? Is that correct?
The best as possible, yes. There's still some skin exposed throughout a little bit of stuff. You still have a possibility of contamination, but all this is together to help us stay out of the contamination of the ponds.
Awesome. And what water safety tips do you have for people that are going to be coming up? It's the springtime, everybody's going to be playing in water. How can they avoid having to meet you under the water?
Obviously, if you wear your PFDs, make sure if you're around the water that you actually have some kind of training in swimming, that you know how to swim. If you don't know how to swim, make sure you have PFDs on. Always be around adults and make sure you let someone know where you're at all times.
Very good. Andrew Peters and Jeremy Elkins with the Washington Township Fire Department. Stay safe and we'll see you soon.